Hi everyone. Since I did the video Psoriatic Arthritis Cured, I've had a few people jump in on the thread and go, "Oh, really? Seriously? Are you cured?" Well, how can you possibly have done it without medication? When I was first diagnosed a few years ago, I was just so depressed, as I said in that video, because I thought my life was over. I would be lucky to be walking in a year, let alone running. And of course, if you would go on all the psoriatic arthritis websites, both from led by doctors or the pharmaceutical companies, you couldn't survive without taking drugs. And they would have these testimonials from people who were still walking a year out from their diagnosis. So how cool was that? So, and if you see some shaking, it's the cat jumping on the cat condo. The joy of living with pets. So these are the 218 5K or longer races that I've placed in for my age group since 2006, just on plants. And I've been running and racing every weekend, following the work of Dr. Goldner. I highly recommend her still. She saved my life, literally. And she has helped so many people with a lot of free information by following her regimen in the beginning, which is just a lot of green smoothies. And I did that religiously for the first few weeks. And in her book, Goodbye Lupus, she documents how she did it. And then in her follow-up book, Goodbye Autoimmune Disease, she features my before and after pictures in there, which are just, still I look at that and go, like, God, I thought my life was over. So my palms were all cracked and bleeding. My fingernails were coming off. It was just unbelievable, really. And to see that resolve starting in a few weeks, and then in a few months, all symptoms of the disease were gone, and I was back to running. In fact, so much so, just want to show you, I competed in the National Senior Games several times and got just a few months after my diagnosis and following Dr. Goldner's plan, got a gold medal in the U.S. National Senior Games. And that was for the 4x1 sprint. And, a lot of people, well, I was actually only one of two the last time I competed at the national level who competed in all 7 events. So that was the 50 meters, the 100, 200, 400, 800, and 1500 meters. And then if you had any energy left over after that, you could do the relay race. So I did all that. I've competed in the national and state senior games here in Florida, lots of gold medals over the years. And as you can see, those are the state senior games right there. And just a lot of fun over the years. Senior Grandmasters, another number of times, which means that I was in the 10-year age group, I came in first. So how have I been able to do that on a plant-based diet? And I like to say a whole foods vegan diet because it doesn't give you any wiggle room. If you Google the phrase plant-based diet, it's going to have all these kinds of different interpretations, which include maybe a little return to meat or fish or dairy or something like that. There's no wiggle room when you say vegan, so that's just so important. So here is my high-powered blender that I use. No commercials for them, but just other than to say you need to get a blender that does it so that this hyper-nourishment reaches you on a cellular level. So what does my fridge look like? Nothing fancy. It's a Friday, which is why I'm all dressed up for date night. And also I've become a real estate agent, very successful with my brokerage. And you're going to hear some discussions between the cat and the dog. They're still trying to figure out how they're getting along. Okay, and they like to, like all parents, they like to try and grab our attention, of course. But anyway, here is the box of greens that I consume on a daily basis. Little cabbage, both purple and green. I'll try and make a salad with those. Some sprouts. And of course, apples, healthy, low glycemic fruits, because keeping your weight down is really important too. And then, yes, I do nightshade vegetables occasionally, but you get a lot of vitamin C from the colorful peppers. And then I always keep salsa around to put on beans and rice. I do have cooked foods now, usually at the end of the day. And I'll also use the salsa on the baked potatoes as well. So different condiments here to keep things interesting. Low in fat because I have some genetic heart issues going on too. I've gone through the Sarasota Memorial Program for Reversing Heart Disease because I came up with some bad genes, and a lot of calcium in my arteries, which may be from a lot of endurance running, or it also could be a genetic thing. So that's how I've managed to do it. I encourage you to do it. I haven't used a single drug. People were really saying, oh, really, you got over psoriatic arthritis without drugs? Yeah, I did. And you can too. I'm not a doctor, dietitian, anything like that, but follow the work of Dr. Goldner. She's truly amazing. And if I can help you in any way with real estate, because that's what I do now, and have just all this energy to keep racing every weekend, and I'm going to be 69 soon. Just thought I'd throw that in there. All right, you guys have a great day. Got to run. Oh, don't forget to click if you like this and subscribe, and we'll send you more.